Arrange in an ascending order. Letter B, 8, negative absolute value of negative 1/2, absolute value of negative 3, negative absolute value of 1/3, and absolute value of 12. First, I have to get out all the numbers or all the values outside the absolute value, then read the question again. So, negative absolute value of negative 1/2. I have here negative outside the absolute value, so I'll keep the negative, and this negative 1/2 will get out as 1/2. So it will be negative 1/2. So here I have 8, negative 1/2, and negative 3 outside the absolute value. It will be positive 3. Negative absolute value of 1/3. I'll keep this negative. Negative is outside the absolute value, and this 1/3 will be out of the absolute value to find this negative sign in front of her, and p negative 1/3. And here I have absolute value of 12 outside the absolute value. It's gonna be 12 in positive. This is the real question. So I have to arrange 8, negative 1/2, 3, negative 1/3, and 12 in an ascending order. So first I have to choose which is the least one, the smallest one. To get the smallest one, all of them are positive except the negative 1/2 and the negative 1/3. Which is less? Which is smaller? Negative 1/2 or negative 1/3? I don't know. So I have to make a draft and compare between negative 1/2 and the negative 1/3. Both of them are negative values. I have two ways. The first way is to compare between 1/2 and 1/3 in the normal case in positive. In the normal case, I say that 1/2 and 1/3, they are two proper fractions. They have the same numerators, so I'm going to look down. Down is crazy, it does the opposite. So in the normal case, I'll say that 2 is greater than 3 down. So 1/2 is greater than 1/3. But here I'm in negative, so I'll do the opposite. I'll say that negative 1/3 is the greatest. This is one way. In other way, I can say that negative 1/2 and negative 1/3, to compare between them, I have to get the LCM. They are two fractions with different denominators, with unlike denominators. So to compare between them and know who's greater and who's less, I have to get the LCM between them. LCM between 2 and 3 is 6. They are two consecutive numbers, so the LCM is 6. So it will be negative fraction with denominator 6, negative fraction with denominator 6. What you change down should be changed up. 2 became 6, it multiplied by 3 down, by 3 up, so it's gonna be 3. What you change down should be changed up, so I multiply 3 by 2 to be 6, so I multiply up by 2, so it will be negative 2. Now I have to compare. I have the same denominator. Let's compare between negative 3 and negative 2. Negative 2 is greater, so that negative 1/3 will be greater than negative 1/2. So that I have to say that negative 1/2 is the smallest value. So I will rank it as number 1. This is the smallest one. Then negative 1/3. So this is number 2. This is the next one. Now I have to compare which is least, 8, 3, or 12. All of them are positive, so for sure 3 is smaller than 8. This is number 4, and the biggest one is 12. It will be number 5. If you wanna write the answer, you will say the first one is negative absolute value of negative 1/2, then negative absolute value of 1/3, then absolute value of negative 3. This is the real number which is written in the question, and 8, then absolute value of 12.